Before Somnius happened, we'd always go out with a group of friends and we'd just make films. And that's all we did. We'd just grab a camera, let's just go out and make something.
We had made like some short films just for fun in the past. And we were having breakfast one day and we started talking about all the cool things we could make maybe one day.
Alain just came up with like the coolest thing ever. Like, what about a spaceship that houses a holographic engine that can make things real that are more than real? It's like you can do anything in there, basically.
What I first thought the film would be was like super big, and then I realized immediately it couldn't be super big. So then I imagined it being incredibly small. And what ended up happening was something in between, as a result of all of the efforts of the cast, the crew, Denver in his direction and his editing and special effects.
Filmmaking is a collaborative process, and that's what's special about it. You're making something that evolves over time. Even when I was doing post-production and with the visual effects, I had no idea how some of these effects were going to turn out. In fact, I was changing things because I was learning more. I would finish one scene and then half a year later, I would have learned so much doing the other scenes with visual effects that I'd have to go back and maybe even redo a lot of the shots.
Denver, I watched him learn a lot on the course of the production, and his directing style got sharper. His editing became very focused.
Somnius was my film school. It was the place where I learned a tremendous amount about filmmaking, about post-production, about the visual effects side to things, about storytelling in general.
The special effects work blew me away. Like, I knew he could, but when you do it, it's like, yeah, it's amazing. When you see it and know that was just one man who did all of it, it's great.
For Somnius, in my opinion, my favorite thing out of everything in that film is the soundtrack.
I think with this particular soundtrack, especially in the first draft, I was trying to really make it have a science fiction sort of sound, trying to like depart from what I usually do, I guess, or whatever. Try to make it sound like very arpeggiated synthesizers, like atmospheric, kind of like Tron meets like Blade Runner or something.
The initial music that he made is it's very like electronic and conceptual, but it was very it just made it like, oh, we're getting there, guys, and it made it a thing. It made it like more real as we went along.
And as I started seeing the movie come together, I wasn't really working with that.
And then as that evolved, it just sounded better and better. It started to match what was being made, and they met at the end, I think, wonderfully.
They say the monks of a Centauri monastery go beyond known space to stare deep into the eye of a dragon. The dragon's eye stares back, deep into their souls. And if they're strong enough, the dragon's eye lets them live.
When I was in high school and elementary school, I studied music, and I was in like concert band and I took composition class, but I didn't really get a lot from it. Obviously, it wasn't like a highly prestigious school or anything, but I found it didn't really affect how I make music right now, which is just basically tinkering on a computer. That's sort of how I look at it.
When we were building the miniature ships, in fact, partway through, I was considering just making the ships in 3D. It was just so much work.
People ask me, like, how did he do the 3D effects for the spaceships? and I have to let them know, actually, those are miniatures.
It was fun to be able to sit at a computer making music and then get up and start sketching Somnius or whatever, and then thinking about how can I cut this out of foam core and build it physically. And so that was like probably the coolest part about Somnius, is just thinking about it wholly instead of just being handed a picture locked movie and being told to make music for it. Well, that's I think why I and everybody involved is just super invested in the project, because it's just so cool. It's like if you could, it wasn't just a job or whatever, it was just let's create something that we're all passionate about because it's really cool. So that's the sort of thing you think about doing when you're doing work, and when you're slacking off or have time to toil or whatever you want to do. That's what you work on, kind of thing.